mas podemos tirar um bocadinho daqui, tirar um bocadinho ali, tirar um bocadinho ali e podemos aplicar, ok, malta? Digam-me na chatbox aplicar, se vocês estão prontos a aplicar o que vocês vão aprender nesta chamada. Ok, pessoal? Para quem não sabe ainda e é novo, esta chamada é traduzida, ok? Deixa-me só, eu não estou a conseguir ver os participantes aqui, ok? Para quem não sabe, malta, esta chamada é traduzida e vocês conseguem ativar aqui embaixo onde diz interpretação, vocês podem pôr português e conseguem ouvir o nosso grande Rodrigo Mota, Sherman Malta, que vai estar a traduzir esta chamada para nós em tempo real. Portanto, se tu não entendes inglês, ativa a tradução aqui embaixo e consegues ouvir em português. Se entendes inglês e gostas de ouvir a voz da pessoa que está a falar, neste caso o Maurice Sommer, deixa tal e qual como está e não vais ouvir o Rodrigo Mota, ok, malta? Portanto, deixa-me só ver, ok, ele já está aqui na chamada, pessoal. Malta, quer ver muito fogo na chat, muitos obrigados, ok? Muito, realmente, corações, malta, agradecimento genuíno a esta pessoa que está aqui ao link connosco hoje, enquanto a gente continua a promover. Estamos nas 100 pessoas, malta. Eu sei que já alterou a hora e o link, mas, malta, nós conseguimos ir pelo menos às 150. Eu vou estar a continuar aqui a ligar e a promover, enquanto tiro o meu caderno para tirar notas. Malta, literalmente rebentem a chat, ok, malta? I am United, nós estamos unidos, uma empresa, uma equipa, malta, uma organização, uma missão, um propósito, uma visão em comum, impactar 1 milhão de pessoas, malta, ok? 1 milhão de pessoas, aliás. Este ano vai estar feito sim ou sim, ok, malta? Portanto, metam muito fogo na chat e ajudem-me a trazer aqui com muita energia, ok? O nosso grande Maurice Sommer. Brother, I just passed you the call. Thank you so much for being here. I know I just warned you about this call like 2-3 days ago, and you said I'm all in. I have go live, but I'm all in to be with you guys. And thank you so much, bro. The translation will be running automatically, so you can just like have more time to drop value, bro. So thank you so much again. The team is here ready to learn, bro. And I pass the call to you. Thank you, bro.
Amazing, brother. Amazing. I'm so thankful to be here for today. Thank you guys for making the time on this call. Wow, it's amazing. I see the energy in the chat. Everyone's excited. And first of all, I want to give a huge shout out, guys, to your uplines and to the people who set up this call, because when I said yes, I'm gonna do the call, and also today I was thinking, I was like, oh, I'm gonna speak on the Portugal call. So that's probably mean that they're gonna live translate me, which means I'm out of flow all the time, so I can just speak sentence by sentence, because that's what it usually is, right? When I was speaking on Portuguese or Spanish calls, and then hearing
portuguesas ou espanholas, e agora ver pelo André que é tradução ao vivo e que eu posso falar livremente, porque há tradução ao vivo para todas as pessoas.
Is so amazing. So I want to give a huge shout out for that. That's really great, and that shows how much every single one of them cares about you, and they want to make sure that you get the value that you deserve. So really thankful to be part of this here. And yeah, today, guys, I'm gonna speak a little bit about my journey. I will let you know who I am and since when I'm doing this business. I actually just finished my German go live session for NFTs. For those of you who don't know, I'm also a DCX educator now since a couple of months. It was announced last year in Zurich at the Zurich convention, and I'm covering everything about NFTs. I'm not 100% sure actually if it's also translated in Portuguese. I'm pretty sure it's in Spanish. Maybe it's in Portuguese also. You guys have to let me know. If not, then it all depends on your demand and if you want to have it or not. But we definitely like the NFT sessions. I'm also doing NFT Tuesdays now with DeFi Mike Sotero. We're crushing it there, and it makes a lot of fun for the people to watch it. So especially also for those of you who speak English, if there's no translation, feel free to definitely
falam inglês, conectem-se às sessões e encontrem-nos lá no canal DCX. Mas hoje o tópico e aquilo que eu quero que vocês saibam é um pouco da minha jornada, quem é que eu sou, há quanto tempo é que eu estou a fazer este negócio e o que é que realmente me trouxe onde eu estou hoje em dia. Eu tenho mais de
organization, 3 chairman 25s, 3 chairman 50s, and all of that has a reason, guys. Every single thing that has happened in my over the last 8 years in this business, everything has a reason why it is right now, why it is, right? And I want to take you on that journey with me. 8 years ago, I started in network marketing for the first time. I was 18 years young. I heard about the industry for the first time. And when I got introduced to network marketing with physical products, right? It was energy drinks, healthy energy drinks, supplements. It was not trading, right? So this was my first impression, my first experience with network marketing. Also my first compensation plan, it was terrible, guys. Really, like here you have like 12 people in your team and you're having a P600 residual income, right? And back then with 12 people, you were making like $20 residually, right, per month. So it was not really, really good, the compensation plan. But I didn't know any better. And for me, it just made sense when I heard about it for the first time, because I saw that there were young people like me living a life of freedom. And I'm not even talking about money, like forget the money. I was not interested in that. I was not a guy, and I'm still not someone who's like only focused on making more and more and more and more money. For me, it's all about freedom. For me, it's all about like really being happy in life, right? Being grateful and living the life that you really want to live, and having enough money so you can like solve your problems that you can solve with money, right? And to live a good life. So my goal when I saw network marketing for the first time, my goal was making like 3,000 a month so I can make enough to pay all my bills and to live a life of freedom. So I don't have to work at a job anymore, because I was 18 years already working 3 years, or like more than 2 at that time. When I ended the job, I was working for 3 years. So at that time, probably like 2.5 years, I was already working at a normal job. And I realized for myself that I can't do this for the rest of my life. There's no way that I'm going to work at a regular job for the rest of my life for someone else, waking up every morning really early, right? Going to bed early because I have to wake up early again, right? It was nothing for me. I didn't think like this is going to be my future, but I had no idea how to break out of this. And then I saw network marketing for the first time. And then I was like, okay, that's it. This is exactly what I need to break out of that whole like cycle and do my own thing and get free, right? So this was how I started network marketing, and my expectations were not that big. And now we get to the first problem: expectations. I feel like a lot of people who quit in network marketing, it's because they have too high expectations. And there's 2 reasons why this happens, or like literally there's one, and it's maybe that's 2. There's one big one. One big reason why people have too high expectations is probably because you, as their sponsor, set the expectations to that level. And now we have most likely one simple reason why you're doing this. It's because people are not starting when you're telling them what the truth is. And the truth is they got to work hard. It's going to get hard, and it's not going to be easy, right? This is the truth. And if you don't tell people the truth, and you tell people like, yo, you're going to start here and you're going to get successful, you're going to get this, and that, and you set the expectations to that level, and then it doesn't reach that level that people were expecting, then they're quitting, because they're like, either they're like, yeah, you lied to me and it's not that good, or they're like, maybe I'm not good enough for that. Maybe, I mean, if that should be like where I should be right now with what you told me when I started, and now I'm here, but I thought I'm here, maybe it's just not working for me. And that's why when people quit, right? So expectations is the first really, really important point. Make sure that you don't set the expectations too high. Be real to people. Let people know that it's going to be hard. You won't see any single event. Like for some of you have maybe heard or seen it, like last year in summer, I was doing a 60-day tour. Like actually it was 50 days. We're in 60 different cities in 6 different countries. So I was traveling to 6 countries in 50 days doing 60 events. So yeah, some days we had more than one event on one day in 2 different cities. And I was doing that straight on for 50 days straight. Every single day we had events. And there was not a single event where I didn't say at least 1, 2, 3 times in my speech and let people know that this journey here will be hard for them and they won't be successful overnight, and that most of the people probably will quit, and that most of the people who start now and make the decision to get started won't get successful because they are not working hard enough and they won't give themselves enough time. And getting successful here takes time, and it takes something else that is really, really, really needed. And this is something in yourself. This is something that I cannot teach you. This is something that Andre cannot teach you. No one can teach you that. This is something that you either have and create in yourself, or you don't have it. But I have not seen a single chairman not having this. And this is burning desire. I was speaking with 3 of my chairmen when we were at the Break the Code event in Miami from Alex Morton 2-3 weeks ago. And I was speaking with them about why do so many people not reach chairman And all of us, like we have reached that level, but why do so many people don't reach that level? And then we were thinking and brainstorming about different reasons, but there was just one thing that we saw, like, this connects all the chairmans, and this is the same for everyone, and this is burning desire. Everyone really, really, really wanted it for different reasons. And this is why they went through so many things. They went through stuff where most of the people are quitting. And they went through it and they restarted again and they built their whole business again from zero. And they did this and that, what most people are not doing. The reason for that is burning desire. They really, really, really want it because they're absolutely not happy in the situation that they're in right now. And for me, I was living in a, like, everyone who has a roof over their head and has like food and water, right? Everyone's living basically a good life compared to how some other people live. But still, I was not like, this is enough, right? I was like, there is more. I can have more in my life. And I wanted this more than anything else because I knew, like, I'm living just this one life. Why shouldn't I get for my goals? And this is something I don't get because some people are just too comfortable. They're too comfortable in their situation. And they're like, yeah, it would be nice to have a life of freedom. But I mean, it's also not bad at work, right? And partying at the weekend and doing this and that. But this is the big reason. And this is something that is not going into my head because I don't know how to even teach you that, right? This is the same thing like teaching you to get goosebumps when something feels right. When something feels right, when someone is saying something deep that absolutely feels right for myself, I'm getting goosebumps here and there, all over my body. I'm getting goosebumps. I can't teach you that. I can't teach you getting goosebumps when something feels right? So, and this is the same for burning desire. I can't teach you guys having a burning desire. You need to create that for yourself. And there's just a thing that I can help you with, and that is inspiration. Inspiration leads to motivation. So what you need is inspiration to motivate yourself, because it doesn't matter when someone else is motivating you. It doesn't matter when Andre is calling you and motivates you and gets you fired up, because 2-3 days later, you're not fired up anymore because there's no Andre anymore firing you up on the call, right? So you need to find something to motivate yourself from the inside. And the best thing to do that is finding inspiration, finding something that inspires you, that then leads to your motivation to achieve whatever you want, right? Whatever inspired you. So this is what you need to look for. You need to look for something that inspires you. And having geographical and time freedom was enough inspiration for me to create enough motivation to go through all the things that I had to go through. And that was a lot. Like when I started my journey, guys, I was not in a position where I had hundreds of friends and people who wanted to work with me. And I am like the most loved guy in the city, right? Or in the village, like by far not, guys. It's like, it can't even be more far away from that, right? So when I started in network marketing, I had barely any friends. I had barely any people that liked me. And I had a tough time starting network marketing and getting my first people. Like my first 2 customers in the business back then were my grandparents. My grandma and my grandpa were my first 2 customers in the business. And it took me 2 weeks to have my first kind of IBO in my business, right? That then works with me. And then it took me another 2 weeks to find the second one, right? And then they quit it just like 2 weeks later, and I had to start from zero again, right? And then sometimes at one point I was at like 50 people in my organization, and 1 month later I had to start at 0 again. In my first 12 months of network marketing, I had to restart 6 times my business. I was going 6 times to 0 and had to restart it all over again for 6 times. But I didn't care, because my expectations were not, I'm gonna be a millionaire in 1 year. My expectations were like, hey, I'm like 18 years young. Even if it takes me 5 years to get to that level, yeah, then it is how it is. Then I'm in 5 years at that level. I still don't know so many people being 23 years young and having a life of freedom. All the other people I know being in that age, they have to work at a regular job. They don't have a life of freedom. So you have to kind of think for yourself the same. If your goal is reaching the German 10 level and having that 6-figure income, then you need to think about, okay, how many people do you know actually right now making 6 figures outside of iMastery Academy? How many people do you know personally making that money? And how many people do you know, like, and if you know any people, how old are they? Think about how many people do you know that are 10 years older than you and making 6 figures outside of IM? How many do you know? And then imagine it takes you 10 years to hit German 10. Now you're like, oh, 10 years, it's so long. Yeah, but how many do you know who have that kind of money that are 10 years older than you? How many do you know? Probably not too many. Maybe one. Most likely you don't even know anyone, right? And then you're still thinking like it's a long time, 10 years to reach that level. Guys, it's not. Like, of course, it's longer than some other people take, but don't compare yourself to other people. You got to know yourself. You got to know your values. You got to know your story and why you are where you are right now. And you have to be grateful for what you have and not comparing yourself to someone else. Like, probably you guys know Ilya Zubik's, 22 years young now, Chairman 50. He hit Chairman 50 when he was 21 years old. I'm 26 now, and I'm Chairman 25. He outranked me, and he was 5 years younger than me, and he outranked me. Do I feel bad because of that? Do I feel shitty? Do I feel like, oh, because I'm comparing myself to him? No, of course not, because I know myself, right? I'm grateful for that. It inspires me. I'm looking up to him. I'm learning from him, right? So this is how I take it. I'm not like comparing myself to like Marvin, Ilya, Jan, or whoever. Like, there's 3 people already in my organization that outranked me. There's another 3 people hitting the same rank than I do. Do I get ego because of that? Do I feel like shit because of that? No, no, of course not. Because I know myself, I know my values, right? I know who I am. And this is what you need to know. You need to know where you want to go. And you need to know that even if it takes you 5 or 10 years, you're still at a great spot. You're still doing good. Imagine that. Imagine having a 10-year-old son in 10 years or daughter, and you're in a Chairman 10 position. You can offer your kid much more than most of the other parents at that age can, right? So think about it in that way, and don't pressure yourself too much with because all of the success you're seeing around you. Because this is a big change to how it was for me back then. I haven't had so many people around me having such a big success, right? So that's why my expectations were not that high. But your expectations are that high because you have so easy access to so many amazing leaders. There's so many leaders making such a good money also, right? And you have easy possibilities to reach out to those people, to speak to those people, right? So your expectations of like also getting to that position are much higher than they were for me back then, right? For me, it was not possible to listen in a call where like 100 people, or like probably with the translation, everything, couple hundred people around, like that was not possible, right? We haven't had anything like that. I wasn't able to study those people on live calls or being able to do this. And I'm not even talking about speaking to them on WhatsApp or whatever, Instagram, you know. It was just not possible. So expectations were a lot different. And probably this is also something you have to think about for yourself. How are your expectations? And your expectations have not something to be with your goals, right? You still can have your big goals, and this is good. But you still need to know that even if you don't reach them, you don't like destroy yourself inside, right? And talk shit to yourself about like, I'm not good enough or whatsoever, right? And also when we speak about goals, a really, really important point is don't have that typical, at the end of the year, I'm going to hit Chairman 10. I'm going to be at that rank, right? Don't do that. Don't have just this big goals for the end of the year, because a year is a long time. And you're going to think like, I still have like 10 months. And in 4 months, you just have 6 months left, but you're still at the same spot, right? Because you just have in your head, I still have a long time. So just having this big goal in front of your eyes won't help you. What really will help you is like those short goals, daily goals, weekly goals. This is what will help you, because you can actually reach them. Chairman 10, end of the year, you can't reach that tomorrow. You can't do actually really something about it today. Yes, you can when you break it down and you know exactly what you have to do every single day to get to that goal. Then yes, then you can do every single day something about reaching that big goal at the end. But the only way to reach it is by having those small goals. And they're way more important because it feels damn good doing like this, right? Putting the check mark under something that you have done. This feels damn good, right? So this is what you need to do. And this is what will lead you to your big goals. And then something I really want to speak about, guys, is what has happened early in my network marketing career. It was like 2-3 weeks after I got started when my upline came to me and he was like, yo, Maurice, there's an event in 3 or 4 weeks. and it's in the Stuttgart area in Germany. I grew up in Austria, so it was like 3.5 hours with the car away from me. And he was telling me like, you gotta go there. You need to go there. We all are going there. Every single one of us is going to that event, and you need to go there. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because events are important, and we all are going there, and you also need to go there. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go there. You see, that's it. There was no big calls. There was no big promotion call or whatsoever to get as much as people as possible to an event. Like there was no, I don't know, multiple six-figure earners telling me like, you got to go to that event because events changed my life. And I'm not just telling you, so you go to the event. I'm telling you because that's literally how it was and how it is, right? There was nothing like this. I just heard I got to go there. Everyone's going there. So I decided I'm going to go there. And what has happened at that event was two things. I made two decisions on that event. Probably I've heard before that on big events, you're going to make big decisions. For me, my first event that I've ever attended, there was like 1,500, 2,000 people. I made two decisions. The first decision that I made was I'm going to do what this person on stage is doing right now. And the person on stage was like 40 years old, something around this. He was like 40 years old. And his family name was Sommer. It was the same name like mine. And I can't tell you if it's because of that and because he had the same name. But what he was doing the moderation on that event. Means he was doing the edifying for the people, right? He was like making sure that the spotlight is on the right people. He was making sure that he edifies them in the right way, that he fires up the crowd, right? That was his job. And he was also the upline of all the people who were speaking on that event. He was like the big papa, right? So I decided on that event that I want to be exactly that guy. I want to get to a point where I can host an event with 1,500, 2,000, or even more people. And then fast forward 3 years later, in 2018, we started doing those really big events in Germany. 2016 actually was the first one where we had like 500 people. In 2017 was the first event where we started to have more than 1,000 people on an event, and I did the moderation for the first time. And also on all the other events that we did in 2017, 18, and 19 until the pandemic started, right? Until we were not able to do events anymore. But until then, all the big events that we did, the biggest one, I believe, was with like 3,000 people, something like this. All of them, I did the moderation. I hosted those events. And it was happening in my head already years before, right? Already now, 8 years ago, this started to happen in my head. I made that decision that I'm going to get to that point where I can have a team that is big enough to host those events, right? So this was the first decision that I made. And it came true. The second decision that I made on that event was from now on, I was never asking myself, or it was never the question again, if I'm going to go to the next event. From this moment on, the only thing I knew was I need to have as much people as possible inside my organization at the next event. Wherever it is, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The only thing that I'm thinking about is how many people can I get to that event. This was the only thing. And since then, this is how I built my network marketing business. I made sure that on every single big event, I have as many people as possible. You have seen the Barcelona vlog from before, when as like the intro for this call, right? And you have seen we had like 4,000, more than 4,000 Germans on that event. And the reason for that was obviously, of course, also, it was 2 years. There was no events. There was no conventions in Europe because of the Corona pandemic, right? So we couldn't do any events, and no one was, most of the people, they have never been to a convention. So the excitement was really big, definitely, right? But especially that people were not able to go to events before, that made an extra push, right? And we also promoted so hard to that event because we knew what is going to happen after that event. And then see what has happened after the event. We had a lot of rank ups, a lot of momentum came because people actually got the fire that they need. And now there's something you can write down, something really, really important. The same like cars need a gas station. This is how you need events as a network marketer. The same like cars needs a gas station. It's like we as network marketers need events. The events are basically your fueling station, your gas station to fuel you up and to get the energy back and to get the excitement. And where I saw that was in the US convention that has happened a few weeks before the Barcelona convention last year. The US convention is like 1 year ago. And it was for me the first convention since London 2020 in February. So after 2 years, this was the first time for myself being on a convention again. And I saw that I needed those conventions so much, because what has happened after this convention with me was crazy. All of my leaders told me that they have never seen me being like I was since that convention before. I was like changed. Why? Because I needed it, because I needed to go to a gas station again, right? The car was about to die. So I needed the gas station to fuel myself up again and to be able to be there for the field, to lead like never before, to work harder like never before. That's why I did, for example, the big tour last summer also. So this is something that I really want you to understand. If you have never been to a convention, Rotterdam, you will understand what I was talking about for the last 5 to 10 minutes, right? Probably more like 10. You will understand why events, why conventions are so important. If you have ever been to a convention before, you probably already know why I said that the only question that should be in your head is, how many people can I bring to that next event? Probably you have seen the prices stayed the same. Prices were meant to go up, I think 2 nights ago, but they haven't. Prices still stay the same. And the reason for that is because we're really, really pushing hard on ticket sales right now, right? I was also pushing them to like keep the prices like they are for the moment, because I know they're expensive. We all know that. So at the moment, they're staying the same. But guys, I can tell you the prices for the Rotterdam convention also will just stay the same for as long as we pushing tickets hard, because as soon as we stop pushing tickets hard, prices will go up. And the reason for that is because we are almost sold out. So there is almost no tickets. As soon as we have that like last little ticket, like those last little bit of tickets being left, the prices will go up, and then the last tickets that are available, you need to buy for a higher price. So this is just how it works for every single event, because you want to reward the people who making the decision to buy even earlier. And as a thanks for like pushing tickets so hard at the moment, corporate said like, guys, okay, we will keep prices like they are for the moment. So definitely take advantage of that and make sure you have your ticket. Make sure you have tickets for your people that are starting in the last days before the convention, because there is no better start for a new customer, for a new IBO, than going to the Rotterdam convention directly after starting. And now I'm going to tell you why, guys, because on this convention in Rotterdam, announcements will happen and things will be going down. You cannot even imagine in your brightest dreams. Trust me, guys. What corporate is doing right now in the background and what is happening right now within iMastery Academy is so exciting. I'm so excited about iMastery Academy like I've never been. And I'm in this company now for almost 5.5 years. And for the last 5.5 years, I have never been that excited, and I've never had that level of excitement that I have right now for this company and for what is happening in the next weeks and months, and especially on the Rotterdam convention with all the announcements that will be happening on that event, guys. Really, it's insane. And if you miss out on that and you're sitting at home and you're on your WhatsApp group and you're seeing like the updates and you're seeing what has been announced on the event, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I should have been on that event right now, because you don't want to miss the level of excitement and the level of energy we're going to have in that room on that event. It's going to be next level, guys. I'm really, 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 really excited. And I can't wait to be on that event, to see every single one of you. Because I got to say, guys, Portugal, for those of you who were at the London Convention 2020, Portugal was the loudest crowd. In London 2020, Portugal they were the loudest people. Like, I can remember how we did promotion for the Barcelona convention. And we were like, guys, for those of you who are in IM already for more than 2 years, you probably remember the London convention. And the Portuguese team, they were way louder than the Germans on the London convention. And we got to change that. That's why we told people, right? And this is why I'm telling you right now, because I want to challenge you guys to change that again. I need that so I can tell my Germans again to be louder than you guys, right? So we definitely need to like compete, right? In a good, in a friendly way, of course, but definitely on that event, also make sure that you show your energy as much more as more. The more energy you give on that event, the more energy you will get on that event, no doubt. And I cannot wait to see all of you also on that event. And being able to also speak with you there, meet you there. I'm just watching into my notes now if there's anything else that I need to cover. Let me see. Yeah, there's definitely two more really, really good things. The first thing that I want to speak about is really like understanding, guys, that also with like, and this is maybe also something that creates more of that burning desire. And I'm not even saying that because of like, money is not like, money shouldn't be your burning desire, or it can't even be, because like if money is your motivation, if money is the reason why you want to reach something or whatever, like you got to understand money is a number and numbers are infinite, right? So if money is the reason for anything, if money is what tries to make you happy, you will never be happy, because money is infinite. So what are you happy with? With $1 million? As soon as you have $1 million, €1 million, you're gonna see that like it's still just money. And yeah, now you can solve some problems with, but you still can't buy yourself the things that you really, really need in life. You still can't buy them. So you gotta understand that this won't lead you to really be happy or getting that burning desire. But what can is understanding what the power behind, for example, achieving a certain rank, like a chairman position, right, where you have a good amount of residual income every single week. Understanding the power behind residual income is really, really important, guys, because as you know, as I said at the beginning, I'm also teaching NFTs. And one of the biggest reasons why so many companies are looking into NFTs right now is because of royalties. What royalties are is basically it's residual income for companies. So Nike, for example, they have digital shoes already, digital Nike shoes. They're calling them crypto kicks. And if someone buys or sells a crypto kick, then Nike is getting a 5% royalty on that. That means 5% of whatever the amount is that shoe got sold for, 5% is what Nike gets. So they're getting a residual income on every single shoe that is being sold. And this is one of the biggest reasons why so many Web2 companies are looking into Web3 right now, especially because of royalties, because they understand that they can make kind of a residual income on blockchain with NFTs. So we have that already. We already have the possibility to create residual income. And you're gonna see, especially now in the last years, I have seen that also, again, in the NFT space, there's so many people who are making dumb and stupid decisions because they're investing in something and then selling it just a few days later for less than they have bought it, just because they're not patient enough, just because they invest money that they can't afford to invest. And they have one thing that they not have is residual income, most likely, because this is the reason why they need to cash out their investment to pay some bills, because there is no residual money that they're getting that can pay for their bills and that can pay for their stuff, so they can let their investments running, right? So you're gonna see, as soon as you have residual income, that it's not just about the money. It's not just the money that you make, but it's about like being able to do things in life most of the people are not able to do, right? Because at the beginning, you're working way more than you're earning. At the beginning, you're working, and you're not making any money until you're working, and you're making a little bit of money. Until you're working, and making a little bit of money and maybe a little bit of more money, right? And then you're working, and you're making money, and you're making money, and you're making money, until you're working, and making money, right? So it's getting more and more and more until you get to a point where you're barely working compared to what you're earning. Because it doesn't matter how much Matthew Rosa is working every single day, and trust me, he's working every single day harder than everyone else. But it doesn't matter how much Matt Rosa is working, making the amount of money that he's making, it never will be in like, there's not so many hours a day. So it's fair, right? Compared to how hard other people are working in this world and they're making not so much money. But the difference is he was willing to work way more for a long amount of time than he was earning. And only if you are really, really willing to do that and really willing to work way, 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 way more for a long amount of time than you are earning, then eventually you will get to a point where you start making more than you could ever work for, right? So this is the power that we have within network marketing with residual income also. And as soon as you understand that, there is no other way for you than going all in. And what also helps you maybe going all in is getting an uncomfortable position, because you need to be uncomfortable, guys. You can't get great in a comfortable position. In a comfortable position, you will never get great. And this is the biggest enemy that you can have of being great is good. Being good is the biggest enemy of great, right? Because when you're good, when you're comfortable, then you don't have the pressure. So you need to get uncomfortable. How can you get uncomfortable? It's pretty easy. Like for example, to get in the same position where I was when I was starting network marketing, you would need to go to your job. You would need to go to every single guy and girl that you're working with, shaking their hands and being like, yo, it was a nice time with you, but in 6 months, I'm out here because I'm building my own business right now. This is what you probably would need to do to get into the same position where I was when I started with this business. I didn't do exactly that. But trust me, everyone around me was aware of me building a business. And it was not because I was trying to get everyone into my business. It was because I let everyone know. So they can watch me, so they can reach out to me and they can ask me, what is it what you're doing? Because in that single moment where they are asking me, what is it what you are doing? They asking me for information now. It's not like I'm reaching out to them and they feeling like I want to sell them something. No, now they asking me for information and I just give them the information that they need. And then I give them some information. And as soon as I see that they're interested, I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I can't speak too much about it now because I need to go to the next meeting. And then the reason because I do that is because you're giving them what they want and you pique the interest, right? They're getting interested in it. And as soon as they're interested and they want it, you take it away from them. And then I let them go, or I go and I say, I gotta go to a meeting now. But hey, we can share Instagram. We can share phone numbers. You can do that prospecting every single day. When you want to prospect people, this is how you do it. You get into a conversation, you start asking questions. This is what you do. You start asking questions because you want that question from them, that what is it that you are doing? You don't just tell them, you want them to ask you. And the only way to them asking you is by you asking them what they are doing, because then you get the re-question. What is it that you are doing? And then you have them, and then you pique the interest. You give them enough information so they are interested. So they're like, huh? And as soon as you have that, you take it away from them. You go and you are like, but before I go, we can share Instagram or phone number, whatever you prefer. And I can shoot you a message and then we can talk next days. You see, it's that easy, but don't pressure it too much. Don't be like, I need to speak with someone right now and I need to sign them up in the exact same moment. This is not how it's working, guys. You gotta have patience in this business. You don't want people to feel like you need them right now into your business. You don't need them. They need you. But the only way how they feel like they need you is by you not acting like you need them. And one of the reasons why many people are doing that is because they have money problems themselves, right? They want to reach the next rank. They want to have a rank up. They want to get like the fast start commission. I don't know, right? This is the number one reason why people want to have it right now. But by you wanting to have it right now, you're giving them the feeling of you need them. So you need to stop that. And if you are full-time in this business right now, and you're not making enough money to really live a good life, and really be able to go to events, if you full-time in this business and you don't have a ticket for Rotterdam right now, you're doing something wrong. Because you definitely should be able to do whatever, to go to whatever event, to go to break the code, to do this, to do that, if you're doing this business full-time. If you can't do that, you got to go that step back. You got to start working 4 hours a day again. Why? It's not bad. It's not bad. Don't be shy on like going that step back and starting to work at a normal job for 4 hours a day again. Because if it helps you, you're making more money. So you don't have to pressure people so much into your business to make the next rank to make more money. People will feel that. This is something I never did, or I maybe did it at the beginning, but I realized pretty early that this is not the right way to do it, that I need to be patient with people and I can't pressure them into my business because they will feel it and then they won't start. And if people just start because I give them wrong expectations, because I give them wrong promises, it's also not working. Rather have someone not starting at all because they would just start with having that expectations, right? But this is probably what they should have. But they only start with that expectations. They don't start with the real ones, right? Then let it be. You don't need them because they're going to quit anyways. And then you have wasted your time. You have wasted your energy. You definitely don't want to do that, right? So this is something that is really, really important. And also then the last thing that I want to speak about is some tips about duplication. How did I manage to also create the culture and the team that I have right now? And one of the biggest things is you got to make sure that you have a sense of responsibility for your upline. I'm telling all of my leaders that every single P150 needs to have a sense of responsibility for the business of their P600 upline, not just for them. Every single P600 needs to have a sense of responsibility for their P1000 upline, for all of the organization from them, not just his team, right? I want every single P1000 to have a sense of responsibility for their P2 upline, every P2 to have a sense of responsibility for their P5 upline. And I want every single P5 in my organization to have a sense of responsibility for the whole German team, for everyone. And I want every single Chairman 10 in my organization to have a sense of responsibility for all of Europe. And from every single Chairman 25 and above, I want a sense of responsibility for all of IM in all of the world, not just for them, right? So this is where it's all starting, right? What I was teaching them from the beginning, because this is how I built my business, always with a sense of responsibility for everyone, not just for my team, because I understand that everything that I give, I'm getting back. The more people I help, the more people I help, the more it will help myself in my life. This is just what I believe, and this is, I believe, how it is, right, in this world. And also it's really important to create leaders in that way, right? To know that everything that you put into them, they're gonna give it to them, to their people, right? This is just how duplication works. Monkey sees, monkey does, right? So what they see from you, they will implement into themselves, right? So you got to be aware of what you're doing, what people are seeing from you, and how what values also you give to your people. And then one thing that is really important for duplication is let your people too, like especially talking to every single one of the P1s and above now. If you're not P1000 yet, the only thing that you got to do, like, let's see in the chat, what is Alex Morton always teaching? Like 90% of the questions that I get from people who are below the rank of P1000, I can answer 90% of the questions with one single word. Which is the word? Let's see if some people know. Alex Morton is teaching that a lot. It's the answer on 90% of the questions that I can, or like the answer to probably 90% of the questions that I get. Yeah, here it is. Rita, exactly. Rita stands for recruiting is the answer. This is 90% of the time I'm giving this as the answer to questions I get from people who are below P1000. Because if you asking me as a P0, 2 and 3, P150, P600, if you asking me how do I get to the next rank, Rita. If you're asking me like, yo, how do I make sure that my leaders are doing the same that I'm doing? How do I make sure that my P150 is a P600 is saying, how do I make sure that my P150 is doing the same that I do? Like you don't have to think about that. All you have to think about is Rita. Recruiting is the answer. Only thing that you have to do is recruit. You don't have to think about or even like focus about duplication or making sure that people hitting ranks and everything. That's what your upline needs to do, right? You don't need to focus on like creating those ranks. As soon as you hit P1000, your job is creating P150s. Your job is helping people, and still your job is Rita, right? Still your job is recruiting people, but until P1000, that's the only thing you have to do. As soon as you hit P1000, it's really, really important to let go. What I mean by that is, for some of you, you probably stuck for weeks or months now. And one of the biggest reasons for that could be that there's things in your organization, in your team, only you are doing them. maybe it's follow-ups, maybe it's presentations, maybe it's events, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But there is for 100% sure some things only you are doing them. And the reason for that most likely is because you know that you are the best to do it. And if someone else would do it, it wouldn't be as good as if you would do it. But you know what the problem is? If you never let your people start doing it, if you never take that step back and let go, you will always be at that position. And people will never learn it. People will never grow. So you need to do that. You need to make that step back. And yeah, for some weeks, maybe for some months, things are not as good as you would do them, but people need it to grow. People need to exercise. And most likely, people don't know when they're ready for something, but you are. You know when people are ready for something. So just push them to do it. Just be like, no, today you are doing a part on the team call. Today you are doing the presentation. Today you are speaking, you are opening the event, right? You don't have to close it. You don't have to present the products, but no, today you are opening the event, right? Let people do new things. Let people make new stuff, right? This is really, really, really important, guys. With that being said, we 1 hour in the call. I don't know for how long you have planned it or how long you usually do them. We usually do them like 60 minutes because then everyone's getting like tired anyways. But I hope you got a lot of knowledge and a lot of like informations on that call today that you can implement and use for your business to grow and also to help as many people as possible inside of your organization to also grow. Because at the end of the day, guys, I'm not building this business. What I'm doing is I'm building people, and those people are building the business, right? My organization is not almost 10,000 people strong because of me. It's because of the people that I've built it, and they have built my business, right? So you don't need to focus on building your business until you hit P1000. The only thing you do is Rita, right? Only thing you do is like you building your business. But as soon as you hit that rank, besides still doing this and still leading the way, still showing how it needs to be done, still being the top recruiter in your team, but you focusing more and more and more on building people so they can build your business. With that being said, I give the words back to Mr. Andre himself, the man, the myth, the legend. I'm really, really looking forward, brother, to see you in Rotterdam, to see every single one of you guys in Rotterdam. And thank you so much for the invite on this call. And like I said at the beginning, huge shout out for setting this all up with the live translation. That's really, really amazing.
But it was really amazing, bro. I just took a lot of notes and you can keep going. I didn't even notice the time, bro. And thank you so much. It was really like insightful, bro, to know how you do stuff. And I'm really happy because I was speaking with Martha right now, like any other company in network marketing, you can do this. You can have this type of calls with other people, with other chairmen, with like people from other organizations that are willing to help you and to share this type of value and knowledge that you share, bro. And it really assures me, makes me feel we are in the right place because, like you said, we all are like responsible for the company itself. I love that. And 100%, bro, I feel we are united, bro. So thank you so much once again, bro. See you in the next event. Thank you so much. Anyone from Portugal can help you guys. Count on us 100%, bro. And bro, I promise you, one convention in the future will be the loudest. And we'll be battling back and forth, bro. 100%. Thank you so much, bro, for this call.
For sure, bro. 100%. I can't wait to see it. And then going hard on my Germans and being like, yo, guys, you have seen that? The Portuguese team? Like, I want to see that going back and forth. So I can't wait for you guys to be more loud than us. Let's go.
Bro, I love that. Thank you so much, bro. See you in the next event. Thank you, bro, for everything.
Thank you, brother. See you guys.
Pessoal, foi incrível esta chamada. Vou fechar mesmo por aqui. Malta, tirei muitas notas. Espero que vocês tenham tirado também. E está mais claro do que nunca o que é que vocês têm de fazer, malta. Não tenho nada a acrescentar. Malta, espero que tenham tirado muito, muito valor. Hoje ainda é dia para fazer acontecer. Amanhã é um novo dia, malta. Ok? Eu vejo muita gente já mandar mensagem com os bilhetes de Roterdão. Se tu não apanhaste ainda, malta, ainda está mais baixo. Mas literalmente, como o Maurice disse, aproveitem pegar o vosso agora mesmo. Ok, malta? A Janine já ganhou o bilhete dela. O Tito já ganhou o bilhete dele também, da promoção que nós temos. Já fecharam 8 diretos. Vocês até têm ido até 6 de março para ganhar o vosso bilhete. Mas, malta, sinceramente, se vocês estão realmente comprometidos com ir, comprem o vosso bilhete e eu devolvo-vos o dinheiro assim que vocês fechem os 8 diretos, ok? Para quem está realmente comprometido, malta, comprem o vosso bilhete, eu devolvo-vos o dinheiro se vocês já tiverem o vosso bilhete, ou melhor ainda, dou-vos outro bilhete para vocês darem à vossa equipa. As pessoas realmente comprometidas, é isso que elas vão fazer, não vão esperar ganhar o bilhete, vão comprar o delas e vão pegar no que eu lhes vou dar por terem fechado 8 diretos e vão dar à equipa. Ok, família? Malta, parabéns ao trabalho que vocês estão a fazer, eu vejo no grupo o trabalho, o hustle, as reuniões, os fechos, estão todos de parabéns, malta, mesmo depois da promoção acabar, registros continuam a saltar todos os dias, fechos estão a acontecer, produção, Rita, como o Maurice Sommer disse, malta, todos os dias, e essa é a chave, não há grandes ideias. Houve uma coisa que eu percebi agora, malta, o Maurice ajudou-me a perceber, pessoal, que eu também venho de uma empresa old school como ele, e nós temos tipo tudo. Eu não gosto de ter facilitado, mas temos tanto aqui, malta, chamadas com outros educadores, eventos, produtos que dão dinheiro, plano de compensação que é o melhor do mundo, tudo o que ele disse aqui, malta, só mesmo uma razão para tu não teres os teus resultados ainda, ok? Tu não estás a fazer trabalho suficiente e não estás a mostrar um negócio a pessoas suficientes. Estás a passar, se calhar, muito tempo com poucas pessoas e tens de passar menos tempo com mais pessoas diferentes e as pessoas que tu realmente precisas ao teu lado para ir para onde tu queres ir vão aparecer sim ou sim. Portanto, família, bora fazer acontecer. Estou entusiasmado por mais um dia com vocês. Estamos juntos, fam. Uma boa noite a todos, malta. E vamos continuar a rasgar. E sim ou sim, se não forem o Roterdão, será em breve, malta. Vamos voltar a ser a equipa mais brilhante da convenção, ok? E vocês veem que eles lembram-se bem, pessoal. Isso vai acontecer muito em breve, por meses. Estamos juntos, fam. Boa noite a todos e até já.